One question has always brought up to my mind. A question that I am always fascinated by the reasons behind why and how this always happens. The question is, have you ever thought why and how do we meet people? Has it ever occurred to you why the people who you saw on the street or in the market or everywhere crossed your path? Of course, this does not stop on random passing people. It is also the same for the people who you are friend with. The people that it happened that they were in the same class or the same building or the same neighborhood you live in, or even on the same Facebook group. Well, as I said, I always think about this because me, myself, an observer who always realizes things around him, who try to understand what is happening, especially the smallest details. So how do we meet people? Usually people call it coincidence, but I call it fate. Coincidence is a fancy word for fate. It is something that was meant to happen. And the people who believe in this and think about this, or at least try to be aware of this, are very few. You might say, I'm also aware of this. Of course you do. I'm not implying by few that you are not. I guess how much you think about it differ from how much I think about it. It is just something relative. We all love these unexpected moments, unexpected coincidence to cheer up our day. And I am sure none of us would deny this fact. And I have to tell you a story behind the sentence that I heard. Let coincidence bring us together again. Now the first thing that came up to your mind, that I am talking about a girl. And yes, I am. And I am glad that I did not disappoint your expectation. About this girl. This girl, I had a little crush on her. She was one of the cutest girls that I have ever seen on campus. I mean, I just liked her, that's all. And we barely talked before. I used to see her in my university not very often, but even when I saw her, we just said hi to each other. So how did I know her? None of your business. I'm just kidding. We had mutual friends. That's all.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Wow.
The days passed by, and university days were running between homeworks, assignments, presentations, and exams. And me seeing her was not very common, but somehow, I sensed that she liked me. The way she smiled at me and how friendly was with me compared to the way she treated my other friends. Yeah, I know what you are saying. Men always think if a woman smiles at them or being friendly with them, it means that she likes them. No, that was totally different. But I am not going into details about this. So, So where was I? Ah, yeah, the moment where I sat on my knee with a ring and asked her to marry me. You might be shocked now, as I am, because none of that happened. What happened is, in one summer night after leaving the swimming pool, heading home, I saw her near the university, waiting for her friends, wearing that beautiful white dress, looking beautiful as always. Okay, enough. So I stopped to say hi, and she was happy to see me. We had a little chat about life and what we are doing, blah blah blah. And before I left, she told me, let's see when coincidence will make us meet again. What did I just hear? And for someone who believes in coincidence, hearing that from someone who has a crush on? Mamma mia! I don't think there are words to tell you how I felt. And from that day on, every time I left the house, I was hoping to see her by coincidence again. Sadly, I wasn't lucky to find her. Days passed by, and after a week or two, my friend asked me to help him to find a house. And this is by far the most annoying thing you would ever do for someone. And seriously, guys, I won't do this ever again. You will understand this in my next story. So don't worry now. So, where was I again? Yeah, don't worry, there is no marriage proposal again. Because this time, when I was passing the bridge, I saw someone who was drowning, so I jumped and saved his life, and I became the town's hero. I wish. Okay, really. What happened is I found someone's phone number on Facebook page. And this guy works in real estate. So we agreed to meet somewhere next to my house. So I went there, and about 5 p.m. and I waited for him. And this douchebag, every time I called him, he told me he would be there in 5 minutes. This 5 minutes became 1 hour, and I got angry because I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer. So I decided to go back home. I was very pissed at him, swearing and cursing in the street. First of all, I don't curse, I'm a polite person.
Yeah, right.
So while I was returning home, and exactly on the bridge, I saw someone who was coming. Mother of coincidence, that beautiful green dress she wore. She looked beautiful. I even forgot that I was angry. Yes, okay. She was surprised to see me and she was happy. Yeah, she is the same girl. And I asked her what she was doing in this area. It turned out that she was going to buy some gifts for her friends, and there was nobody to accompany her, so she decided to go alone. And I was like, can I come with you? And she replied, of course you can. Now think about it. How things work in this life. That day I had zero idea that I would ever see her by coincidence. And because I was looking for a house for my friend, this happened. Oh, come on. How things are even connected. You wanna skip this part, don't you? You wanna know what happened after that I accompanied her. Sorry, that's really none of your business, because we got drifted from the main story. But I can tell you briefly what happened. You know, the usual. Simply, we went together, we had fun, we bought the gifts, and I took her back to her dormitory, and it turned out that we have many things in common, but before we said goodbye to each other, she told me again, well, let's see if coincidence will make us meet again. But this time it was different because I asked her where she was working, and I thought whenever I leave the house, I would pass by her workplace, and that's really what happened. But sadly, whenever I passed, I couldn't find her. And by the way, this place was on my way to the university, so I wasn't going deliberately. And later I came to realize one thing, that you cannot force fate. And now you might be criticizing me why I didn't take her number, or even send her a message over Facebook, or whatever the heck is out there on social media. And the answer is because I didn't want to ruin something special with this kind of poisonous technology. I wanted it to remain innocent, something just unplanned to happen, just the same way it started with. Days and months passed by, and nowhere to see her. Every day I was hoping to see her, but fate obviously didn't have any plans for us to meet again. Not until the day I was walking down the street and I saw her with someone else, hand in hand. Ouch! That must have hurt you, you might be thinking. It did actually, and it took me a few days to forget. But in our culture, the third try is always what settles the matter, and in my case, the third coincidence settled my case and crushed my hopes and dreams. Okay, or thinking about it in a positive manner, the third try told me to stop thinking and leave my hopes that it took so much space from my mind and return to reality. I'm happy for her because it turned out she got engaged from that guy and maybe married now. I just don't care. I do. I'm lying. I just wanted to say that it is okay. I know a lot of you relate to this story, but the lesson here to be learned is that You cannot force fate, and what is meant to happen will happen, whether you are expecting it or not. But be sure that what will always happen is the best for you.